Hey guys, so I tell like it is, breaking down the best economy that would work for everyone, which is a well-regulated market economy. One that does not exploit, oppress workers, one that pays them more, and one that allows a market economy. A mixed market, a well-regulated economy to keep free enterprise and to protect workers and to protect product contamination is what is needed in order to create the best possible economy. That was what the 115th Congress could have done, the Congress from 2017 to 2019. Not surprised with Republicans that they decide to give the rich all the tax breaks. Well, since I know economics, it is demand that drives growth, so more consumer spending. The middle class needs the bulk of the tax breaks. The wealthy don't need a tax break. They must continue to pay their fair share in taxes to help pay for infrastructure, for single-payer health care, to ensure that everyone is back on their feet, able to work, and to not go bankrupt. And, most importantly, these taxes that go towards social programs that help people that would be destroyed and would be suffering without them. So what is the best economy for all under the 115th United States Congress? By the numbers, through the practice of gematria and numerology, a well-regulated market economy is the best economy for all. Trickle-down economics under this 115th Congress will be nothing but a scam. We're going to have a crash in 2019. We did not have increased investment. We have had share buybacks. The bulk of the benefits going to those who need it the least. In gematria, the practice of coding letters and words into numbers is the knowledge that you need to see through this manipulation of the elite. It is because a well-regulated market economy is the best economy for all. Money is the root of all evil. The puppet of the deep state is President Donald John Trump. Money and greed being the root of all evil is why trickle-down economics does not work. If only the wealthy were generous with their money and they're able to invest and put it back into the economy. The best economy for all is not trickle-down economics, supply-side economics, the benefits to the wealthy trickle down to the middle class. That is not what has happened ever since Ronald Reagan. Reagan had the largest tax increase in history because his 1981 tax cuts were a complete bust. What followed the 1981 Economic Recovery Act were record deficits and the first major tax increase, the Tax Equity and Fiscal Responsibility Act of 1982. Ronald Reagan, his presidency was saved by House Democrats who worked to pass these tax increases. House Democrats teamed up with Ronald Reagan to help fix a disaster that was passed just a year before. The propaganda of the billionaire class through the extreme right wing was what allowed this economic policy to gain support to begin with. It was all orchestrated by the gang of international corporations and bankers, the Freemasons, the people who believe in holding true knowledge. Freemason knowledge, economics equals 96 and 42. It is left wing that equals 96 and 42. They understand that we not only need economic efficiency, but we must also ensure that the benefits go to the most amount of people that we possibly can, which is why a well-regulated marketplace is the way to go. They understand that tax breaks for the wealthy, the Freemasons, they know that it's all corporate propaganda of the Libertarian Party. They know that these policies here are only meant to benefit the rich and the wealthy and the powerful. This is why the Libertarian Party is a scam party. They buy into the elite. A well-regulated market economy is what's needed. Trickle-down economics has always been a scam. Reaganomics 51. Far right equals 51. Conspiracy. Naive equals 51. Naive economics and corporate propaganda of the wealthy both equal 147. They just described trickle-down economics to you guys. House Democrats saved Ronald Reagan's presidency equals 185. A big revelation for Ronald Reagan. Book of Revelation. It prevented a stock market crash by passing these tax increases thanks to the House Democrats that teamed up with Ronald Reagan to get that done, to help fix the disaster. Supply-side economics only works for the wealthy. House Democrats helped Reagan reduce the deficit. Interesting. Both equal the same reference. Wonder what 200 connects to. Whose birthday? Could be the bill sponsor, whatnot. Something to look for between the first tax increase and the prior 1981 bill. Reaganomics is a scam of the rich. Who is ignorant of economics? And Trumpsky all equal 127. This chaos in America and its debt situation would play to the hands of Vladimir Putin. Economics is rigged. It's because these fraudulent theories exist out there to help hand the most benefits to the rich. That is the libertarian platform. Nothing but big business propaganda. Because liberals do know economics. They know that it is the velocity of money, the movement of money, turnover of money, the spending of money. More money to the middle class is what fosters higher economic growth. We've had higher economic growth in the 50s, the 60s, when we've had higher wages. That was the best time in American history. It is Trumponomic theory that equals 95. That is pro-wealthy economics, which is trickle-down economics, which is going to cause the Trumponomic crash and the fraudulent prop and value in the stock market. When you're close to full employment, then you're not going to invest and hire more workers when you're reaching full employment. So a bubble has been created in the stock market. It's because Democrats know economics, and they know the retards out there are going to ignore the deficits of 1981 and still believe in Donald Trump. Equals 89. The GOP is ignorant of supply-side economics, of the trickle-down theory, which is nothing but economic propaganda that economic illiterates believe in. Now, not only do those equal 89, funny thing is that up here, okay, I will say that at the end, my screen is being funny right now, but tax cuts for the wealthy results in borrowing money. Both equal 85. Nothing but economic stupidity equals 85. Higher deficits equals 85. Supply side economics is bullshit, and higher deficits both equal 130. That's exactly why it's nothing but bullshit. It is because the tax breaks don't pay for themselves, like Steve Mnuchin is saying, is that they ultimately do not pay for themselves. That's just a bunch of lies. Here's the thing about scrolling down in the calculator about all these references equaling 96. So left-wing economics, knowledge, corporate propaganda, the Libertarian Party. When this tax cut was passed in 1981, that was Public Law 97-34. This was enacted by the 97th United States Congress, so there were 196 prior Congresses to the 1981 Congress. That's interesting because economics would be a key issue after 96 prior Congresses. You know, corporate propaganda, the Libertarian Party, and libertarian economics and tax breaks for the wealthy. These were all passed after 96 prior Congresses. That's funny how that's the case. What happened in the 97th United States Congress? The amount of time between the day that Reagan's tax cut was passed and the day of the Tax Equity and Fiscal Responsibility Act of 1982. That act was passed on September the 3rd. This Economic Recovery Tax Act was passed on August the 13th. The amount of time from here on my gematria calculator, August the 13th of 1981, that day of any year, as a matter of fact, to the day of Ronald Reagan's birthday is going to reveal something significant about this tax act. So I would actually need to do Ronald Reagan's birthday to August the 13th. There's just a certain way that I had to enter this. August the 13th of 1981 in Ronald Reagan's birth year, but we need Reagan's birth year to August the reference I needed was the day that the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 was passed. So this was the tax breaks passed by the Republican Congress, signed on December the 22nd, a huge gift to the wealthy that was passed by the GOP majority in Congress, helping people who need it the least. Very interesting how that's the case. And this tax break on August the 13th of 1981. From August, that day, to the day that Donald Trump signed the tax gift. When you don't include the end day, this is 131 days. When you don't include either day, August the 13th or December the 22nd, this would be a time span of 130 days. So the day before the bill was signed, December the 21st, when Trump went to bed knowing that he was going to sign this bill the next morning, 130 days between the day that Reagan signed his tax break for the rich and Donald Trump's tax break for the wealthy. And here in the gematria calculator, it's no coincidence that here higher deficits and supply side economics is bullshit, both equal 130. Right from the get-go, before Trump signed the bill, higher deficits have already occurred in America. You can see that in the description below. We've already had higher deficits. Trump is going to double Obama's debt if he were president 8 years from now. Tax cuts to the wealthy create jobs. Well, not quite. It equals 107, but what equals 107 instead is higher deficits. Tax cuts result in higher deficits, and Trump is trying to pay for these deficits by having tariffs instead, taxes paid by consumers, poor and middle class people, commoners, border tax, 107. But it is ignorant of economics. Trickle-down doesn't work. Economics are rigged. The supply side economy equals 98. Trickle-down doesn't work. You turn out to be really ignorant, so you ask yourself what stimulates the economy. Spending. More money for those that spend a higher percentage of their income. That's because supply-siders are full of crap. That'd be Mr. Trump. It is nothing but financial fraud to run our nation on a credit card. It's all part of the Freemasonic Zionist bankers' plan to make more of their money through their interest payments when we run up our credit card and when we're not spending money that we have. It's all part of a master plan from the all-seeing eye of the gang of the Freemasonic Zionist bankers. Supply-side economics was a scam? Oh yes, Bush would agree. He's a member of Skull and Bones. George H.W. Bush. Trickle-Down was voodoo economics. Skull and Bones has 322 on their logo. So Skull and Bones of Yale, 322. Supply-side economics was a scam. They knew. That was a prophecy. It's demand that drives the economy equals 106. That couldn't be any more true than it is right now. Reaganomics was a bust. That pretty much is the Trump economy, which is tax breaks for the rich. Alexander Emmerich Jones equals 211. Donald Trump's mouthpiece. Trickle-down is a joke. Enough is enough. Equals 78. Income inequality and profit and Trumponomics is a joke. Equals 84, because that's exactly what it is. The gullible old party of voters that think the wealth is going to trickle down to them. That is what trickle-down economics is in a nutshell. All line up with the 89 references. We're going to have a crash in 2019. History repeats itself. I have the video linked here for you to see on trickle-down economics. I've covered in the past with all the good links on the statistics in the past and what fosters economic growth and quotes on it. Quote from millionaires, quotes on billionaires, saying that they're not the engines of the economy. It's you, the spender, the consumer. So remember that. It was nothing but a scam. And as Ed DeLorenzi says, it is all a fugazi. Check him out.